Later tonight, here on TNT, Staples Center, the site. The Rockets 18-9, the Clippers 21-8. Called by Marv Albert, Chris Webber, and Stephanie Reddy. Let's spend a few minutes with Chris Webber, who is inside Staples Center. What are you laughing about,
Hey, man,
Shaq?
leave me alone.
Because he looked like Lamont Jefferson.
Lamont Sanford.
Yeah, Lamont Sanford.
Mad at my lip beard right
I
here,
like the
man.
mustache, C-Web. You look good.
Hey, C. Hey, C.
Thanks for
on a-
bringing sexy back to the studio, Chuck.
Thank you, brother.
Hey,
Yeah,
C.
yeah.
On a normal night, your matchup would be maybe the one that everybody's talking about, but you know the Lakers and Bucks getting the lion's share of all the attention tonight. In yours, here you got a Clipper team with the addition of Paul George and the defenders they have on that team with George and Kawhi Leonard and Pat Beverly against a team like Houston with the leading scorer in the league in James Harden. What do we expect to see tonight defensively from the Clippers, and what's a good night against James Harden?
Well, a good night against James Harden, first of all, is probably 30. Maybe, because he's averaging, close to 40 points right now. I think a fraction of a point away from it. But I think what we'll see with the Clippers is this fact, is that they have so many great defenders that they don't always put their best defender on the best player. Why? Because usually with pick and rolls, you can pick out the person that you want to pick on. So let's say the best defender is Kawhi Leonard, and he's checking you, and you'll have someone come over there, set a screen so that a different player has to check onto you. Well, here, then that next person is Patrick Beverly, or that next person is George, or that next person is Harkless, or someone else. And so what you'll see, I believe, tonight is double teaming. They like to double team and keep the ball out of Harden's hands. But also I think what you'll see is guys that just say, listen, I play defense. I'm not scared of your best player. I'm going to guard him and guard him well until there's a switch. And usually you can switch off to a better defender. So I think you'll see great communication, great team defense, but more importantly, guys trusting and communicating with each other on the defensive end.
C-Web, Shaq here. We always talk about others on the show, and of course every team has a bunch of others. But would it be fair to say that Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams are the most important others in the league? Is anybody better than those two coming off the bench?
Yeah, I don't know. And Kenny had a great point in the earlier segment talking about the deep bench of Milwaukee, but I would put this bench up against anyone. I mean, this is the only team that has 4 guys scoring over 19. And when you look at Lou Williams, he's leading the league scoring off the bench. And then who's next? That's his boy right here coming in doing the same thing. So when you look at the guys, Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench, I do think they have the sneaky deepest bench, and also they all have the same heart. They all play hard and with defense, so I don't think you lose a level of intensity when the bench comes in. Oftentimes, I think their bench intensity is better than the starters because of just the personalities on the bench.
C-Web, do you think James Harden, this is tricky because I don't want to call him dumb, do you think he's smart enough not to take them 3 matchups with Patrick Beverly, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard and just don't hey, I just want to prove that I'm unstoppable and just let the game come to him?
He's not going to let the game come to him. You know that, Chuck. He's going to go at each one of those guys. He takes it personal. I think that's the gift and the curse of his game, because they double team him a lot, and that frustrates him and makes him sometimes take some shots that, that you would not want him to have. But, I know a lot's being put on Harden, but I think it should be put on Coach D'Antoni. He told me before one of the games early this year, he said the best play in the league when I played was Shaq posting up, throwing it out, reposting, throwing it out, and reposting. He said that's how he sees Harden. He sees Harden, even though he's taken 20 dribbles and they are 25th in assists, he said there's no play better than him dribbling, doing all that, passing it, getting back, him dribbling, doing all that, passing it, and then him shooting at will. And so I think people need to remember this is Coach D'Antoni's system. This is how he wants them to play. And so I give Harden all the responsibility, and the onus is on him to have better shot selection and to make sure he's doing his thing. But at the same time, this is what his coach asked him to do and how this team plays, Chuck. So, no, I think he's going to take it personal, and at times that could fall right into the hands of the defense, or sometimes he'll just knock you in the head with 50.
Yeah, well, C-Web, I'll ask you this, because I'm probably the only one up here that's going to, after you leave, really big up the Rockets. You tell me why. Give me a reason why I'm right that they can win the West.
Well, they can win the West because if they would have made one layup 2 years ago instead of missing 27 threes in a row, then they would have won the West against Golden State. I mean, I like how they play. I can't say I would want to play on this team, but I like watching them play. I think that they have scoring. They play in a different style. They make you get caught up in trying to outscore them and keep pace with them. And when they get hot, they're one of the toughest teams to stop. They have Tucker in the corner who leads the league from the corner. Harden's one of the best offensive players. Capella, he can do his thing in the post. It's kind of like the question Chuck asked earlier, do I trust the mentality? I trust their skill set. I trust their heart collectively. But again, when you go back to missing those three-pointers in a row and not taking one layup, I think sometimes their system – I think analytics should be taken in account.
No, you were supposed to tell me why, Ernie. Not why.
Great answer, C-Web.
They can do it, Kenny. I do believe in it, and I do believe this. If it's ever a time that there was so many questions, can Harden and Westbrook play together? You guys know how it is. If you're playing with your friend, if you're playing with somebody that you have a relationship besides basketball, it will give you a chance to defer, to be a little more humble. And I think that's what you see with Harden and Westbrook because they basically know if we don't win this with all the hating that's done on us, with all this, we'll never have a chance. And so I do believe that anything can happen and that this team is definitely going to be one of the best 4 teams in the league, I believe. But can they get over the hump? It remains to be seen. But if I'm a Houston fan, I love our chances just as much as, well, almost as much as anybody's, including the Lakers.
Hey, C-Web, let me throw this bunch of numbers at you because the top 10 scoring performances this season, James Harden is on the list 5 times. He's had 60, 59, 55, 54, and 50. And in this calendar year, you know how many times he's gone for 50? Meaning the end of last season, beginning of this season?
No.
12 times he's had 50-point games. And the guys upstairs have added up the number of times that you and Chuck and Shaq and Kenny and Reggie went
I've never had
50 combined in their careers, and it's 5 times, and that just speaks to what Harden has been able to do. The thing is, though, it's interesting because he's kind of a polarizing guy. For all the talent he has and his ability to score, there are those who just aren't thrilled with watching him do his thing.
Dribble. Charles is dribbling right now.
Yeah, but you're right, EJ. And so first of all, he's a talent that we haven't seen, the type of scoring that he's done. But his coach makes him play this way. I think everybody has to really reset and say, you know, how did he play before? He led the league in assists in the fourth quarter when he was in OKC, when he had 2 players, Westbrook and Durant, with him. We've seen him get better, and this is the way his team, it's the analytics. It's from their GM. It's from the top of their organization that says we only want to shoot threes and we only want to shoot layups. They don't believe in twos. They believe that 1 out of 3 threes is 50%. That's how they look at it. They don't look at it as 33%, whatever you want to put. So he is polarizing, but the system is polarizing, and I think that's what it is. Like, one fact, already Harden has made in this many games 135 threes. Do you know Larry Bird took less than that the year he won an MVP? He took less than that already. He shot over 300 threes, so I just think it speaks to the way the game has changed, to how good he is, to the talent, how hard he is to guard, and the system that the Houston Rockets organization wants in place. And I only think, if you want to give Harden the credit I think he deserves, I only think there's 3, maybe 4 players that could play in this system and be as productive as he is, because we can say he dribbles and shoots a lot, but nobody else can dribble and shoot a lot like he can.
Chris Webber, appreciate you getting to the arena early tonight and for these insights. When TNT NBA tip-off continues, Allie LaForce caught up with the reigning MVP. What's Giannis thinking as the Bucks prepare for the showdown with the Lakers?